Good day, grade fours. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope it went well with your activity that you had on Monday and that you enjoyed it. Today, we're going to carry on with 4-digit numbers. What we are going to do today is we're going to work with two new ways, one new way of adding and one new way of subtracting 4-digit numbers. So as you guys remember, in the first term, we made use of expanded notation method. All right, so when we look at example on page number 93 of the workbooks that I handed out to you, there's activity 2 at the bottom, adding and subtracting bigger numbers. All right, so number 1A has got a sum which asks us to add the following. So we've got 348 plus 256 and plus 5,790. That's that sum over there. All right, so what we would have done with our expanded notation method is the following. Okay, I've already worked it out for you, so I'm just going to go through it with you. So what we would have done, our first step is we would have expanded every number. Okay, so in the past we only had hundreds, tens, and units. Now we are starting to work with thousands as well. I'm going to explain to you now how it works. So 348 is 300 plus 40 plus 8. 256 is 200 plus 50 plus 6. And 5,790 is 5,000 plus 700 plus 90 plus 0, or you can just say plus 90. You do not have to add the 0. All right, so first of all, we used to start with our hundreds together, then our tens, then our units, but now we've got thousands as well. So now we have to start with our thousands. So in our next step, we've got 5,000 plus 300. You'll see I've got these scratched out marks. What I've done is every time I write down a number from my expansions, I would cross it out just so that I can see that I've got everything written down. So 5,000 plus 300 plus 200 plus 700 plus 40 plus 50 plus 90 plus 8, so I can scratch 8, plus 6, scratch 6, and plus 0. If you did not write the 0 there, it's fine. Then you just stop this step at the 6. Okay. So then my next step would be to add my thousands. I've only got 1,000, so I write it down, 5,000. 300 plus 200 plus 700 gives me 1,200. 40 plus 50 equals 90, plus another 90 equals 180. 8 plus 6 equals 14. All right, remember what happens if we've got a number that's got thousands and 200s, or thousands and hundreds, hundreds and tens and units. We have to expand those numbers. We cannot leave them like that. So we say 5,000 plus 1,000 plus 200 plus 100 plus 80 plus 10 plus 4. Now I can go and I can say 5,000 plus 1,000 equals 6,000. 200 plus 100 equals 300. 80 plus 10 equals 90. And 4 is on its own. So then my answer is going to be 6,390. 94. Okay, so this is the method that we used in the first term. Okay, so you can do number 1A like this in the expanded notation method. All right, now number B asks you to compare your answer with a friend's answer, but since we don't have friends, we are going to compare Hetty's method with our method, which is the expanded notation method. Okay, so here it says Hetty did the sum this way. Now, you guys remember we spoke about it on Monday as well. In the 3rd grade, you had a column or a table where you would put your place values of your numbers in. So you guys only had hundreds, tens, and units. Sorry for that. But now we are adding thousands. Okay, so what Hetty has done here is she has taken her numbers and expanded them, but she did it in a table format: thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones or units. All right, so 348 is 300 under hundreds, 40 and 8. 256 is 250 and 6. And 5,790 is 5,790 and 0. Then what she did is she added all her thousands, which was 5,000. She added all her hundreds, which gave her 1,200. She added all her tens, which gave her 180. And she added all her units, which gave her 14. All right, now let's turn the page to page number 94. As you guys can see, I've added in the numbers again for you because it is a bit unclear. Then what she did is she took the numbers and she split it up again. So exactly what we did in our expanded notation. You can't have 1,200, so you have to say 1,000 plus 200. You cannot have 180, so you have to say 100 plus 80 and 10 plus 4. All right, that gave her 6,000 plus 300 plus 90 plus 4. So her answer is the same as ours, 6,394. Now they ask us at number 2 that you have to use Hetty's method. In other words, the method that is at the bottom of page 93 as well as the top of page 94. And you have to do those 3 sums in Hetty's method. All right. Now, let's look at number 3. Number 3A says, Max has 644 marbles. Diane has 429 marbles. How many more marbles does Max have? So what we need to do is we need to subtract because we need to find out what the difference is between those 2 numbers. All right, when we have to work out a difference, we use subtraction. All right, so again, what we would have done is we would have used the expanded notation method. All right, so 644 is 600 plus 40 plus 4. And 429 is 400 plus 20 plus 9. So first we subtract our hundreds, which is 600 minus 400, plus our tens is 40 minus 20, ignore the 30 for now, and 4 minus 9, ignore the 1. Okay, so now we all know we can't subtract 9 from 4. So we need to go and borrow from our neighbor. Remember, with subtraction, when we borrow, we always borrow from the left, never the right. We cannot borrow from the number that we are subtracting. Okay, so we borrow from the 40. So 40 becomes 30, and our 4 becomes 14. All right, now we can start subtracting. So 600 minus 400 is 200. 30 minus 20 is 10. And 14 minus 9 is 5. And that gives me an answer of 215. All right, now, Mealy has a different way of working this out. Okay, so Mealy, the same as us, first breaks down the numbers into their parts, in other words, into the hundreds, tens, and units. Okay, 644 and 429. Then he starts his subtraction. He starts with his biggest digits, which is his hundreds. So first the hundreds, 600 minus 400 is 200. Then the tens, 40 minus 20 equals 20. And then the ones. But the ones are 4 minus 9. And 9 is more than 4. So what he then does is now he takes the answer that he got from his tens, which is 20, and he adds it to his 4. Okay, so now 24 minus 9 equals 15. Okay, so basically what happens is that 20 falls away and he put it there, remember? So now it's 200 plus 15, and that equals 215, which means Max has 215 more marbles than Diane. Okay, so at number 4, they tell us to use Mealy's method to solve the following 3 equations. All right, which means you're going to use this method. Remember, this work you have to do in your blue workbooks that you've got with you. So what you are going to do is you're going to write adding and subtracting bigger numbers. That's going to be your heading. Today's date is the 22nd of April. You're going to skip a line, write activity 2, skip a line, and start with number 1. Remember, number 1A we have to do in expanded notation, as well as number 3A. Sorry, down. Number 3A, we also have to do an expanded notation. All right. Then you'll see that I wrote that you have to do mind maths. That's on this little page that's got the different columns here. So you need to do number 50 and number 51 for today. What you can do is you can fill it in on the page here, and you can just cut number 51 and number 50 and number 51 out and just paste it after you've done activity number 2. Just paste it in your workbook for me. All right, just make sure when we look at number 50, it's a revision exercise. Complete these number patterns. So when we look at the difference between 89 and 91, we see that our pattern is plus 2. Okay, now when we look at number 2, we've got 468, 465, and 462, which means our pattern is minus 3. So just make sure if your pattern is a plus or a minus. All right, then at number 51, the question is how many thousands are in each number? So all I want you to do is you need to look at your number, for example, 4,916. How many thousands are there in this number? There are 4 thousands. Okay, so you're going to do that for all 20 of the numbers. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy this and I hope you come right. If there's any questions, please forward it to Mambongi and she'll make sure I get it. This is really important that you guys do this work, and I really want to encourage you to really try and put in an extra effort with your maths work. It's just going to be for your benefit when the school starts, that we are not behind in our work. I hope you guys enjoy it and enjoy your day. Thank you.